Thanks, Gregor. Adam, what's your assessment of where the core group is at, and what's it going to take for this group to take the next step as an organization?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of real good pieces in this room. I think, there's a lot of guys that are continuing to get better and continuing to evolve as players. And it's going to be important that we take the next step and we use this summer and we come back and we continue to kind of keep pulling in the same direction, and hopefully we can take another step.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Adam, Andrew Kopp was saying that maybe one of the things this team needs to do is become harder to play against. You agree with that? And what does that look like?
Yeah, I think when you say harder to play against, it doesn't mean necessarily bigger and tougher. It's just, winning your one-on-one battles, making it hard for people to push you away from the front of the net, making it tough for them to get to the front of your net. And, it's things like competing on, every puck, every shift and things like that. So, I think that was one of the things that, in Montreal did better than us in the series was, they battled for every loose puck. They stopped on the pucks, if they made a mistake, they had 3-4 guys covering for that mistake. And, that's one of those things where I think in the playoffs it starts to get magnified, and it's certainly something we can improve upon.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CGOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, good morning, Adam. Since the high water mark of 2018, because you've been here for all of it, do you have the confidence that that you and your teammates are still moving the needle forward, or and how difficult is that to do, to not just stay where you are as an organization, but to keep pushing forward?
Yeah, you look back and you draw a lot of comparisons, and you see where that team was at, kind of, and the contributions you were getting from guys on that team, and you look at the team now, and certainly the makeup's different. You look at the back end, and we probably had arguably the best top six in the NHL. You look at the right side, you look at who we had on the left side. The makeup of our team is a little different, but I think we still have a lot of really key players. We've got one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie in the world. And you have a chance to win every night with him. And look at the makeup of the guys, and you look at the season Nick Ehlers had, and how he continues to evolve as a player, and he really took a step to becoming a dominant player in this league. And you look at how Scheif comes in every season, and he continues to get better. Casey, you look at Copper season, and you look at JMOP and guys like that, and I think they're continuing to get better, and continuing to step forward and take a step in the right direction. Obviously, we're going to need to continue to get better if we want to progress and win some more rounds in the playoffs and ultimately win the Stanley Cup. But I think the group we have here is there's a lot of key pieces, and if we can continue building around them, we're going to give ourselves a chance.
We'll go next to Ted Wyman from the Sun. Go ahead, Ted.
Hey, Adam, what was the experience like of working with your dad as an assistant coach this year?
Yeah, it was good. It was one of those situations I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to go early on. It might have been a little awkward the first few days of training camp, just making sure that the interactions weren't father son. It was more coach player relationship. But it was fun. It was it was nice to kind of be able to interact with him on a day-to-day basis, and just see the hockey mind. Obviously he's known him my whole life, so I know him pretty well. But just to see how he interacts, how he thinks the game on a different level as opposed to what you kind of gather at home. It was great to work with him. Work on penalty kill together. It's always nice, being surrounded by family, and especially in this year, you didn't really get to see a whole lot of family, so to get to see him at the rink every day was awesome.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CGOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
I'd just like to say a special thank you, Adam, for all of the insightful answers you've given over this year and in previous years. When you look back on this season, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and you're talking to young whippersnappers, if you're still involved in the game, and they ask you, what was it like to get through that season of 2021? Can you imagine what some of the things you might pass on to them, and how will it make you better as a player going forward?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is, we really miss the fans. We miss the energy in the building. We miss, just seeing the passion that they bring. So, having to find a way to bring that energy. I know we're highly paid athletes, and it's our job is to perform regardless of the circumstances. But you finding that energy, whether it was the team camaraderie or just finding ways to interact and kind of have fun at the rink, and bring that a little extra juice that you'd maybe get from those fans. That's certainly one thing that you kind of had to learn to create a little bit more energy, and just dealing with the challenges of you're pretty much stuck in your hotel room, and you finding ways to occupy your time, so your mind doesn't just get wandering. I think those are a couple things that we learned to do, and then just kind of going through the challenges. I think we're all looking forward to the day where a daily COVID test isn't a regular thing. I think we're all looking forward to the day where everyone kind of is back in the stands, everyone's back in the room, and the interactions are a lot more personable. So I think it would be kind of passing on those lessons that it's don't take for granted the fans in the building, don't take for granted the team meals or the things that you got to do when you're on the road, or even just the interactions, the events where you have the gala dinners and things like that, where you get to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. It was definitely a different hockey season for sure, but one I think we're pretty proud of with how we performed.
Thanks very much, Adam.
Thanks.